Alright, so we are through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup for apparently a record 30th time. Apparently Man United and Arsenal both hold that record, so United reached it. Obviously they reached it with their win against Norwich, and we reached it now. Obviously we've won it a record 13 times. We have a good history in this competition, and it's good to know we reached another semi-final. The last time we were in a semi at Wembley in the FA Cup, we obviously won and went on to win the whole thing. The last 3 times actually, so maybe that's a good omen, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Alright, I'm aware that there are teams left in this competition that can smash us, so I am not going to be confident, but I'm hopeful that we can win the cup. You know, obviously the cup is the cup. A lot of shocks happen, and Arsenal winning the FA Cup would be a shock, regardless of how big a club we are. We've had our worst season in decades. I don't know how many years. It's at least 30 years we've had our worst season. It's probably longer than that, to be honest. We've had our worst season in a long time, and somehow we're still in the semi-finals. So if we somehow won the FA Cup, it would be a damn miracle. But a miracle, I'm hoping that will happen. And I said it in my prediction video, I'm hoping to see Arsenal v Man United in the cup final. I think that would be a great cup final. I'm just saying, I'm probably asking to be shot in the foot, considering, you know, it's a game that they could win, but that would be a good final. Admit it, it would be a good final. So that would be great. It'd be a nice throwback to our rivalries back in the past. Obviously we had some fierce rivalries over leagues and FA Cups, so this would be a cup final with them, would be something crazy. I'm hoping for another final with them. That'd be great. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, the semis still to come. We could still get smashed in the semis, so this could all be, what I said now could all be in vain anyway, and we could get them in the semis, you know, depending on the draw. The draw is about an hour away. No, more than an hour away. I'm gonna show my reaction to the draw in this video. Not my reaction to the draw. I'm gonna watch the draw and I'll tell you my thoughts. So yeah, but as for this game, I was quietly confident the past couple of days. Usually with Arsenal, I'm never confident. Pretty much with every game we play, even if it's against League 2, against a League 2 side, I'm still not confident. I'm very nervous. I get very nervous before literally every competitive Arsenal game. So this was no difference. No game is any different. Even if we played a non-league team in the FA Cup 3rd round, I would be nervous. You know, that's just me, right? But on top of despite that, I was still a little bit, like, slightly confident, just because Sheffield United, even though they've been very good this season and they've taken 4 points off us in the league, since they've come back, they had that bizarre Villa goal line technology thing, then they've lost games since then. They haven't looked as good and as confident since before the lockdown, and they've not come back as the same team for me since what they were before. They were so good before, so confident, a team that's capable of beating anyone in the league. Maybe not anyone, but they were capable of beating a lot of teams in the league, and they were very good. They were looking good for Europe, but since they've come back, that's not been the case. So because of that bad form, and coupled that with the fact that we beat Southampton a few days ago, a game that we usually lose, I just thought, you know what? With their form and the fact that we finally won a game after our bad form, Sunday's game might be there for the taking. And it was. And we took the lead through a penalty. We got a bit fortunate because they had 2 disallowed goals. And they were offside, but obviously 2 disallowed goals. And we were hanging on to that 1-0 lead. And if you supported Arsenal over the past couple decades, you would know that watching Arsenal defend the lead is one of the most painful and excruciating things to watch. It is so painful to try and watch Arsenal defend the lead. Even if we're like 2 or 3 goals up, it's still painful because we tend to invite pressure quite a lot. We tend to sit back. We did this under Wenger, did it under Emery, do it under Arteta as well. We do this so much where we just sit back and invite pressure. I don't know, like, it happens so often, and we always do things the hard way. But obviously when you are winning in a cup game with 10 minutes to go, you're going to sit back more. But we do it so much, it's frustrating sometimes. And even, especially this season, we've conceded a lot of late goals where we've taken the lead and we've ended up drawing or losing. So yeah, you know, watching Arsenal, like when we're 1-0 up, we really need to go to get a second goal. But also, obviously, we can be open to the counter, so there needs to be some sort of balance, because sitting back just doesn't help, and it didn't help when they equalised. 3 minutes to go, they equalised. Looked like extra time, but luckily for us, Ceballos got the goal at the end. I don't know what was going on in the back for Sheffield United, to be honest. There was a few errors, to say the least. How that goal went in was just ridiculous, but it felt too easy. It genuinely felt too easy. You know, like on FIFA, like when you're playing someone and they're just giving up and they just stop playing and you're just allowed a free goal. That's what it felt like. Genuinely. Like, every time I see that goal, I'm just like, that was too easy. That winning goal, that Ceballos goal, it just felt too easy. But we won. We won. And I predicted 2-1 as well, so you know, that's another win. But I'm happy that we're in the semis, and let's find out who we got in the draw. And obviously the other games haven't been played yet. Obviously United beat Norwich, but at this point there's still Newcastle v Man City and Leicester v Chelsea. So I'm kind of hoping Newcastle go through and we get them in the semis. We'd probably lose that semi. I don't know. Alright, I have optimism, but also pessimism. Is that the word? I'm looking forward to the semi, but I'm also not looking forward to how we could lose in the semi, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's get into this draw in like 2 hours. I can't be asked. First of all, I thought the City game was at 4:30. They said at half-time of that game they were going to do the draw. It was actually Chelsea at 4:30. I don't know why I thought City were at 4:30. City were at 6:30. So yeah, I waited all day just to find out we're playing City. So we got Man City in the semi-final. Meanwhile, Chelsea have got Man United again in another cup draw. So yeah, 2 big games there, but I already spoke too soon. If you look at our fixtures, we got Norwich next at home, which is not so bad. But after that, on July the 4th, we have Wolves away. On July the 7th, we have Leicester at home. On July the 12th, we have Tottenham away. On July the 15th, we have Liverpool at home. And then the following weekend, just 3 days later, we have Man City in the semi-final at Wembley. All of my optimism has just gone off now. It's at 0. Optimism was there, not anymore. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Yeah, we are doomed. July looks awful for us. Arsenal, please surprise me. That would be great. Speaking of surprises, Maitland-Niles started today, and he actually looked good. And I'm hoping he starts ahead of Bellerin. I think he deserves to. I think even not just this game, but in general, he's actually earned that. Bellerin has been as good for a few years now, so I'm hoping Maitland-Niles gets more game time. Tierney looked good as well. It's good to see him playing well. He's clearly a talented player, so hopefully he keeps going. Other players look good as well, but mainly just those two I've been impressed with. But yeah, hopefully we can avoid any more injuries. Martinez looks alright in goal, so hopefully that holds. Hopefully he keeps going, because he can be dodgy at times. He has been in the past. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I don't expect anything from the league, to be honest. At the moment, I'm just fed up with the league in terms of Arsenal. I'm still looking forward to watching league games, believe it or not, but just not Arsenal ones. I've been looking forward to cup games, not anymore. So this next month will be interesting, very interesting. Please surprise me in a good way. Come on, let's do this. Let's not. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.